supposed to be everything they expect me to be.
Hey guys, and welcome to another Guitar Zero to Hero song tutorial. And in this lesson, by request, I'll be teaching you how to play Miles Away by Memphis May Fire. Now this song is absolutely beautiful and it sounds absolutely amazing on acoustic, but there are some funky chord shapes here and there's a bit of stretching. So it's probably going to be targeted more towards the intermediate players out there. But if you're a beginner, by all means give it a shot as well, because that's the best way you're going to improve, is to be constantly pushing yourself to play harder and harder songs. So you won't need a capo for this song, however you will need to drop D tune your guitar. So that's very simple. All you need to do is take the low E string and take that to a D. And that's drop D tuning, really simple. So starting with the verse, which is also the intro of the song, we have 7 chords that we need to learn. So the first chord is going to be something like this, alright? So all you need to do is take your index finger and bar it on the 4th fret for just the top 2 strings. So you're just barring those top 2 strings. Then your pinky goes on the 7th fret of the 4th string, and your ring finger goes on the 6th fret of the 3rd string. And the 1st and 2nd strings are left open. So that's the first chord there. The second chord is going to be a bar on the 7th fret with your index finger, just the top 2 notes again, and then your ring finger is going to be on the 9th fret of the 4th string, and your pinky is going to be on the 9th fret of the 3rd string. And that's the second chord. And the third chord is going to be a stretch from that position. So all you're going to need to do is move your index finger down to the 6th fret, and then with your free middle finger, that needs to go on the 7th fret of the 5th string. That's a bit of a stretch there, but you should be able to get it. And that's the third chord. Now the fourth chord is simply just going to be your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string and your ring finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string. That's the fourth chord. The fifth chord is going to be a power chord at 9 and 11. Just note that you don't want to be hitting that top string. You start from the 5th string. So the power chord from 9 and 11, and the 6th chord is power chord from 7 and 11. Again, you don't want to hit that top string. And then the final chord is a power chord from 5 and 7. And again, you don't want to hit that top string. Okay, so let's concentrate on the first 4 chords. Now this chord's going to be hit down 8 times. The second chord's going to be hit down 8 times. The third chord's going to be hit down 16 times. And the fourth chord is going to be hit down 16 times as well. Now for this strumming pattern, everything's going to be down. Everything's going to be downstroked, but there are accents in this song. Now you can choose not to play the accents, and if you're not to play the accents, it will just sound like this. Now that's a much easier version. However, with the accents obviously is how they play it in the recording, and it sounds much better. Now the accents are going to be on the 3 beat, the end beat after the 4, and then the 3 beat in that next count. So to demonstrate, I'll count and play along with one of the chords. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Notice how I hit those accents a lot harder on the 3 beat, the end beat after the 4, and the 3 beat in that next measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and faster it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So that's the strumming pattern with the accents. Now the first 2 chords are going to be within that one strumming pattern. So the point at which we change is simply just going to be the 1 on the next measure. So what we have is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and And one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the third chord and then the fourth chord are played for a full strumming pattern. So 2 measures with all those accents in them. So the first 4 chords of the verse sound like this with the accented strumming pattern. Now we get to the next 3 chords. So we've got the power chord on 9 and 11, and that's strummed down 7 times. The next chord, which is on 7 and 9, is strummed 2 times. And finally, the power chord on 5th is strummed 5 times. Now this may sound confusing, but when played, it will sound like this. And one more time. Now you can choose to use that same accented strumming pattern for these 3 chords. Now the point at which you're going to change to this 7 and 9 chord will be on the end beat after the 4. So the accent will be straight away on that power chord, and it'll be a end 1 and then onto the next chord. So after we've hit that last power chord on 5 and 7 5 times, what we do is we just hit a couple of individual notes. Those will be 7th fret on the top string and then 6th fret on the top string. And that sort of leads back into the chord progression again. So it will sound like this, the last 3 chords. And then back into the first chord. So altogether, the verse chord progression will sound like this. And that's it for the intro and verse. So there's a pre-chorus that only happens in the first verse, and that is going to be our first chord that we learnt here. And then it's going to move up to the chord where we have our index on 6, our middle finger on 7, and then our other 2 fingers on 9. And then our last chord is just going to be a bar on the 7 and the ring and pinky on the 9th. That one. Now that first chord we're going to hit 4 times, the next one we're going to hit 4 times, and then the last chord we're going to hit 8 times. So this pre-chorus that only occurs in the first verse sounds like this. And one more time. And that's it for that pre-chorus. Now the chorus is nice and simple. It's just 3 chords. So the chords we have, again, we start on that 4th fret bar with the pinky on 7 and the ring on 6. That's our first chord. Our second chord is going to be a bar on the 2nd fret for the top 2 strings. Our ring finger will be on the 4th fret of the 4th string, and the pinky will be on the 4th fret of the 3rd string. And again, these 1st and 2nd strings are open. That's our second chord. And then our third chord is just the open D with the 2nd fret of the 3rd and 2nd strings hit. And those are our 3 chords for the chorus. Strumming pattern wise, it's going to be all down strums again. We can also implement the accented strumming pattern here. So the 1st and 2nd chords are going to be within one strumming pattern. You change to the next chord on the 1 beat, and then the 3rd chord is just going to have one strumming pattern by itself. And again, note the accents are going to be on the 3 beat, the end beat after the 4, and then the 3 beat in the next measure again. So the chorus will sound something like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 that just gets repeated for the chorus. Now we get to the bridge, and the bridge is just going to be 4 chord shapes. So we're going to start in that 4th fret chord shape that we're very familiar with now. Then the second chord is going to be the 6, 7 and 9 chord. And then the third chord is going to be the 7 bar with the 9 on the pinky and the ring. And then the 4th chord is going to be that exact same shape, just moved up to 9 and 11. Now each chord is just going to be strummed 8 times here. And there's no particular accented strumming pattern. You can sort of just do what you want, really. And the bridge will sound something like this. And that just gets repeated on and on till the end of the bridge. Now the last little thing that we need to learn is the soft chorus that happens after the bridge. Now it's played a little differently than the normal chorus. What we do is we start in the power chord on 9th and 11th, and we hit that 8 times, and then we go to a power chord on 12th and 14 on the same string, and we hit that 8 times, and then we go down to our power chord on 7th and 9th, we hit that 16 times, and then we end on the power chord on 5 and 7, and that's strummed 32 times in total. So that one really holds out for a while and builds back up to the normal chorus. So in total the bridge will sound something like this. Now note again that that chorus is a soft chorus, so when you do strum it fairly lightly and then build back up to that last chorus, which is the same as we learnt previously. So those are all the parts you need to know for Miles Away by Memphis May Fire. Now I'm going to be playing the verse, pre-chorus, chorus and bridge. I'm going to have my good friend Beck sing on top for some context. Now please do try to play along and see how you go.
Goodbye to my wife for what seems like the millionth time. They said it gets easier, but they lied. She looks at me and says, really, baby, I will be just fine. But then she looks away so I don't have to see her cry. And that is when I ask myself, how am I supposed to be everything they expect me to be when I feel so alone? 'Cause I left my heart at home, and she needs me, but I know they need me too. So God, give me the strength to do what you created me to do. If you miss me, I'm just a phone call away. Please be strong for me. I need you to show me how to change the inside of me. For my heart, for their sake, be strong for me.
And that's it for the acoustic version of Miles Away by Memphis May Fire. Now if you've enjoyed this video and want to see more in the future, then please make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave your thoughts, comments and questions below, and I'll see you next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers. Now I put a lot of time and effort into recording these videos, editing these videos, annotating them, putting the tabs in, so that you guys get the best learning experience, and I'm putting out some of the best guitar lessons out there on YouTube. In the description, I've put a list of the gear that I use and highly recommend. Stuff like picks, strings, capos, tuners, the guitars that I use are in the description. If you want to support what I do and keep these videos coming, then please check out the gear list below. For everything you buy, I make a small percentage of that sale at no extra cost to you. Amazon's prices are really great as well, so you'll find some bargains there. I'll see you next time. Cheers.